Getting a generalist like Robin Summeretto during this period of Elation Shield meta is an absolute godsend because of how good her buffing capabilities are. But what does she actually do? Let's talk about Stariel's newest Remembrance support, Robin Summeretto. So, what does she actually do in terms of supportive capabilities, personal damage, and those essay level traces that need a Harvard degree to understand them? Well, it's actually not as complicated as it looks. Robin Summeretto is a wind-type character that follows the path of Remembrance and offers team-wide support that works for both HP scaling and attack scaling units. Her basic attack isn't anything crazy. It deals wind damage based off of her max HP, her skill summons her Memo Sprite Bessie, and if it or any of the other members of the Summer Songbirds are present, she heals them and gains 6 vibes. Now, try not to fall asleep from how many times I mentioned vibes. After accumulating 6 or more vibes, she summons the Summer Songbird Drummy and then Patty at 12 or more stacks of vibes. And after all of the Summer Songbirds are on the field, Robin and her Memo Sprites enter the Fever state and deploy a zone where allies attacking ignore a certain percentage of the enemy target's defense based on the amount of vibes Robin currently has. Now this state has a countdown where she reduces her vibes by half, with minimum of 12 being reduced at any given time, but as long as you have more than 0 vibes, she'll keep singing for the entire round. Her ultimate is really unique where it's sort of like Sundays but better. She advances the action of any ally target, regenerates energy based off of their max energy, and puts them under the special guest state where said ally and their Memo Sprite provide double the vibes to Robin but cannot advance other allies, so avoid putting it on characters like RMC, Sunday, Bronya, or really any character that has an advanced word in their kit, but you want to have it on your main damage dealer anyway, so this shouldn't be a problem. Her major traces are really good, honestly. The least important one is the Ascension 6 trace, where she and her Songbirds gain 50% crit rate, which is pretty good, but not anything crazy. Then her Ascension 4 trace lets her receive Groove when receiving healing and or shields from her allies, and each time anyone in the team attacks or heals or shields for the first time in their turn, she eats a stack of Groove to regenerate energy for herself. Her Ascension 2 trace is definitely her best one, and what it does is whenever an ally does anything to cause Robin to receive vibes, if that ally has more attack than her, they receive a certain amount of attack, and if they have less than or equal to attack than her, they receive a crit damage buff instead. This is really good because it's actually a team-wide buff, meaning everyone in the team can utilize it, and works great with teams where there isn't just one character dishing out big numbers. Okay, now that we have all of that aside, let's talk about how to actually build her. So for her relics, you want to put her on an HP body, speed boots, HP planer, and energy regen rope. For which set to use, you'd want to use World Remaking Deliverer as it gives her and her Memo Sprites a 24% max HP increase and gives her allies a 15% increase in damage. For her planers, she actually has quite a few options depending on who you're playing her with. For example, you could put Ushaka on her if you're playing her with DPS Ashvale, Aglaya, Gilgamesh, etc. Amphorius if you're playing her with DPS Cyrene or any Elation characters, since those characters scale on speed. Penacony set if you're playing her with any Wind DPS, or if you're someone who does 0 cycle clears, you could put her on Von Walk to effectively gain 90% advance forward at the beginning of battle through her Light Cone, Technique, and Planar. Speaking of her Light Cones, she honestly doesn't really have that many options. Her signature Light Cone is pretty good, but isn't all that crazy honestly, because what it does is give your team a permanent 20% speed bonus, a slight advance forward when entering combat, and a skill point when using her ult. Her best 4-star Light Cone is the story's next page simply because of the HP bonus, and the flower remembers if you have the battle pass, which even so isn't that crazy because it just buffs her damage and nothing else. 5-star Light Cone options include Memory's Curtain as her free-to-play option, but do keep in mind that you probably will struggle if that is your only 5-star Light Cone in a mono rem team, since everyone would want it. Cyrene's signature is also really good, and sometimes even better than her signature simply because the speed buff benefits her Memo Sprites since they scale off of Robin's speed, and it also buffs the team as well. Everknight's Light Cone also works quite well in a mono rem team, but in most cases you'll have that Light Cone on Everknight herself, so do keep that in mind. Are Robin Summeretto's eidolons worth it, and where's a good stopping point if you're investing into her? Right off the bat, her first eidolon is honestly really good since it's basically like a pocket cipher on your team at all time. The more non-true damage your team does, the more her Songbirds will dish out as well. Her E2 is great and a good stopping point if you don't want to go all in. The 20% all-type res penetration is amazing, and it also gives a great quality of life increase with faster stack generation elation team-wide, along with more vibes she can get in total. Her E4 is honestly not that crazy since it just allows her to enter battle with more vibes and increases the speed of her songbirds, so only get here if you're planning on getting her E6, which, speaking of, is insane. Not only do you get 2 Robin ults instead of 1, she gives a team-wide 100% all-type res pen and 140 energy to herself when she enters the fever state, or starts the countdown for the next one. Overall, amazing vertical investment. I'd personally go for E1 over S1 myself, but like I said, it depends on which team you are planning on using her with. And speaking of teams, let's talk about which teams she works best in. Short answer, all of them. Long answer, she works with practically every DPS in the game, exceeding in teams that have multiple characters doing damage simultaneously, like Saber Gilgamesh teams, which she is best in slot in because her kit gets utilized entirely. Rincher, Ashblade, Anaxa, Aglaya, Sealy, etc. can all comfortably use her, replacing RMC and having her do their job, but better. You can even make Evernight a DPS at E0 instead of getting her E2, and E0 Cyrene also now works with Phynon because of how fast Robin can get her stacks up. She can be played with elation characters, but you need her light cone for her to work the best she can, since they mostly scale off of speed and need it anyway for constant AHA instincts. But keep in mind that elation characters don't like advanced characters because of their certified banger dropping after a few turns, so you'd mostly use her ult on Yao Guang instead of the DPS in this case. In conclusion, Robin Summeretto is honestly the best general support we've gotten thus far, and she is so incredibly flexible that you simply can't go wrong with putting her in any team. Let me know down below in the comments if you'll be pulling for her when she comes out, and give this video a thumbs up and subscribe. See you in the next one.